Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to our Hoppy Holiday Special.
It's time to get jolly with some jolly good brews.
We've got a sleigh full of festive beers to review.
From stouts as dark as coal to ales as bright as Rudolph's nose.
Ho, ho, ho. Did someone say beer?
Well, as they say, no man is a failure who has friends or good beer.
And we've got both. Let's dive into our first brew.
Subscribe now and join us for the Spit or Swallow Beer Reviews Christmas Extravaganza.
Yeah! Spit or Swallow Beer Reviews Christmas Extravaganza. I'm Jammer.
That's right, I am Shagdog. We're doing Abita's Christmas Ale.
Yeah, that's right, Shagdog. And we got on the back of this bottle right here, it says, each year at Abita Brewery, we craft a special dark ale for the holiday season. Then Papa Noel harnesses up his team of gators and makes this special delivery. The recipe changes each year so that Abita Christmas Ale is always the perfect gift.
All right, yeah. So we're doing it's a rare occasion we get to do the same beer. That's twice.
There's the cap. Ooh, yeah.
That's right. There's the cap. It's Abita.
And there's the inside for all you cat burrs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it on.
That sounded special.
I didn't get much out of that. That's amazing.
Oh, wow. Man, I got like a 2-finger going.
I didn't get crap, and I poured it hard.
Man, you must have given it such a good pour, like right certain spot, the sweet spot, that didn't even give it a head.
Well, it is kind of dark, isn't it? What do you got?
Yeah, it is. Well, we give that beer advocate score.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, we didn't.
82 beer advocate. It's a 5.8% ABV. Does that sound right?
Yeah, 5.8.
American Brown Ale, Abita out of Covington, Louisiana. Each year, the Abita Brewing uses a special craft dark ale for the holiday, blah, blah, blah. Changes every year. And guess what, Jammer? This is 2023 score, so that might not be exactly correct.
Wow.
But according to their website, the new one, 2024, it's a pale malt, brewed with pale malt. It's a combination of caramel, biscuit, Munich, and chocolate malts. It's hopped and dry hop with Columbus, Cascade, Centennial, and Amarillo. There you go.
I was going to say, it does smell citrusy. But anyway, it's got nice ruby hues there. It's kind of got the caramel looking look to it, you know.
Ooh, well, that's weird for a brown ale, too, to smell like an IPA.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting. Caramel malts, toasted bread. Yeah. And piney hops, you know.
A little citrus.
And a little faint spice there, you know. It's just got that kind of whispers holiday cheer, you know what I mean?
That might be holiday, like overkill.
Yeah. That citrus zest is in there, you know. You know.
Piney
All
and
right.
citrus. Yeah.
I'm ready to dive in anyway.
I'm ready
Cheers.
for it. Cheers, my brother. Merry Christmas, people, and Happy New Year when you get there.
Man, I don't have much carbonation at all in this. Maybe mine was compromised.
Yeah, you didn't have much head either, huh?
No.
Might have been maybe a little air leak in a cat.
It does have a malty sweetness to it, though.
Yeah, I got carbonation, but it is a little flat because of all the damn hoppiness of it.
I do get like a toffee, caramel, like toasted nuts type thing, you know. Mm-hmm. And then the hop kind of just pops in and says, "Hello, I'm here." You know.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, and the resinous type pine, you know.
It's like getting brave.
Hello.
It's like getting brave and taking an IPA and a brown ale. Hey, let's see how it tastes and pouring two together. That's what I'm really getting. Yeah.
It is an odd flavor, but it's not offensive to me. I mean, it
tastes more like an IPA than a brown ale, that's for sure. But it does have the brown ale, like malty, maybe a little bit of caramel, chocolate type.
Yeah, I do pick up some spiciness in there in the sense of maybe like cinnamon and clove, you know, that kind of thing.
That wasn't that a Stevie Nicks song, Cinnamon and Clove?
Crimson and clover,
Uh,
over and over.
wait, no, that was Pat. Was that Pat Benatar?
No, Crimson
Yeah, I
and
think so.
Clover was something else.
Let's check. I hate to do it.
Go ahead.
Who sang Crimson and Clover? Oh, that was the original one. Who covered it, though? I think who covered Crimson and Clover? Joan Jett, not Pat Benatar. My bad. I'm getting the wrong dark hair lady. They don't even look alike, really, do they?
Oh, Joan Jett.
I mean, they both had short, dark hair, but yeah.
Joan Jett is more like the Billy Idol of women, you know.
She's like the punk rocker of the women back then, you know. And then Pat Benatar was, I don't know how to. I mean, she was kind of rock, but she was kind of poppy at the same time.
She was love rock.
Yeah.
But with an edge, you know.
Yeah.
Hit me with your best shot.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said like pop rock, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. She's kind of like the John Cougar of women's rock or something.
Yeah, I mean, I like Pat Benatar
Yeah.
and I like Joan Jett. I mean, granted, there's not a lot of songs I like by either one of them, but there are a few.
Right. What's your favorite song by Pat Benatar?
You know, there's "Love Is a Battlefield" and "Hit Me with Your Best Shot." Those are probably
the
two best, but there's a couple others that I can't really think of right now.
Yeah, there's the one with the video with the airplane and World War II.
Yeah.
Pat Benatar, I Love Rock and Roll is probably my favorite by her.
Joan Jett.
Joan Jett. Yeah, put a jukebox, whatever hell the name of the song was.
I Love Rock and Roll.
I Love Rock and Roll, yeah.
Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Yeah. I saw her standing there by the record machine. Knew she must have been 17.
Yeah, and that song was actually, what do you call that? Where some subliminal messages. Like I was at a pizza place one time. I was probably about 12 years old, me and my cousin. And someone played that song and they had a jukebox there. So I actually put another dime, I think it might have been a quarter at that time, in the jukebox, baby.
Exactly. But I can't think of any other song that Joan Jett did right offhand.
Well, she did that one for the not Marty McFly, but James. What the hell that kid? The guy who played Marty McFly. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking Jamie Foxx, Michael J. Fox, not Jamie Foxx.
What song did she do?
She did a song for one of his movies. What song did Joan Jett do for Michael J. Fox movie? What the hell was the name of that song? Light It Day. That doesn't sound familiar. Well, they actually did one on stage. She was in the movie, but there's another song that was a bigger hit that was for that movie's soundtrack. Joan Jett's song for a soundtrack for Michael J. Fox movie, big hit. Give it to me, Google. Light It Day. That doesn't even sound familiar. I think I'm living in the Mandela effect. Oh, yeah. Joan Jett's biggest songs. Oh, I Hate Myself for Loving You, was it? Maybe
I hate myself for loving you. Yeah, that was a good one.
I Love Rock and Roll, Bad Reputation, Do You Want to Touch Me? Cherry Bomb was with that group that her and Lita Ford were in.
Cherry
Bomb. Hello, mother. Hello, dad.
Cherry.
Crimson and Clover, they did a remake. I don't know if that was her solo or with that band. I forget.
Yeah, Joan Jett was good. I like her, but
she's all right. I mean, nothing real. I wouldn't buy any of her damn records or anything, but
the only record I ever bought by her was I Love Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one, though. Anyway, back to the beer.
Back to the beer. Thanks for our one viewer watching. We appreciate it. Thanks, Mom.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yes. So what are we going to give this, Jammer?
It's very odd. I give it a C+ and a swallow.
Yeah, it's a C+, yeah. It's different. I'll give it a B minus in a swallow. I'm picking up IPA qualities and the brown ale qualities, so it's kind of weird.
If mine actually had any carbonation in it, because it's really lacking carbonation, it doesn't have hardly any. If there's any in it at all,
Do you give your glass a little swirl? Any foam? No.
no, it's no
Yeah,
carbonation.
you must have like a little air gap in your cap, I guess.
It must have been compromised in some way, but not so much to cause it to go bad. You know what I mean?
I think you give it a higher score if it had some carbonation. Yeah, because I got the carbonation. I get a little head still on mine.
Mine's almost like the beer had nitro instead of CO2. Instead of the carbonation, it had nitro.
Yeah,
it's smooth. It's easy to drink. Maybe there was a mistake in the brewery and they put nitro in this one.
It could be. Or, maybe they put the cap on late. Oh, that one doesn't have a cap on it. Hey, it's only been 2 hours. Just put it on there.
Yeah, put it on there. Send it out. Yeah. Sell it to the people.
They'll never know.
Yeah, they won't know. Well, I have to tell you, I do know.
Yeah,
I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I didn't even pour my whole beer in here. What the hell?
What were you doing?
I don't know. I think I had too much head, and I didn't.
I'm already down that far, and you're.
Well, I had too much head. I'm sorry.
I watched a video of yours the other day that says that you had a lot of good head.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Were you on that video or
no?
Or no.
You had a lot of good head, and you were like,
Yeah.
It's always good for a guy to have a lot of good head.
Right. I forgot what video it was, but I remember seeing it. I think did you leave a comment or you said something to me about it? Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, yeah, that is true.
Sometimes I say things incorrectly, but it comes out pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't find your words.
Right. Well, sometimes my words find me.
Eskimo.
So,
everybody
Jammer, this is probably family stuff. I shouldn't probably be asking this on video, but I will. That's the type of guy I am. But I'm hoping your family, wife, mother, sister, all the ones I know and love are all doing well, hopefully.
Yeah, as far as I know, everybody's doing good.
We do beer reviews together, but sometimes we don't get a chance to talk about personal lives,
That is true, we don't.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the best time I ever had with your mother is that sounds bad. When you guys stopped here when you went on a trip to Virginia, came back by here in South Carolina, dropped me off some beers. And, your mother sitting here, you guys stayed for about an hour or two, I think, and chatting it up. And your mother is just funny that night. And then, hey, give her a hug goodbye. And then she gave me a second hug. I'm like, oh, 2 hugs. Oh, it was funny. I was like, oh, she gave me 2 hugs.
Let me tell you, she is, in reality, she is a very social butterfly.
Yeah.
We went on a trip with her to Europe, and that was to Poland and everything. Yeah, Poland and Germany and everything, all around. And let me tell you, people were gathered around her. They really got a kick out of her. She was talking to them all, and she was the life of the party. And when you go on these trips, usually go to dinner somewhat together. You're at the place and you have dinner and you can go sit wherever you want to sit. But everybody was wanting to sit with her and talk with her. So
Well, your mother, where did she grow up when she was in her young days? Was it Virginia or Maryland?
Virginia, yeah.
Yeah, and she still has an accent a little bit, so I can just imagine some of her stories from her youth. That
she has some good ones. She has some good ones. She talks about my aunt. My grandpa grew. When my grandpa had 11 boys and girls, and my grandma passed away. I never knew her. passed away when my mom was young still. So my grandpa actually raised everyone by himself, pretty much. Anyway, pretty much, I say. Anyway, he grew tobacco and everything for the companies and all that stuff. He grew tobacco up there in Virginia, up on the mountains, and my aunt, I don't know why she did it, but she did it. She would pinch off. They were supposed to plant tobacco and plant it, and she didn't want to plant it, and she was upset and everything like that as a kid. And she was pinching off the roots and putting the tobacco in, which made no sense because he would turn around and take those little plants that he had and try to plant more. So they would have to plant more. So she had to do it again. And she kept pinching off the roots. And he was exasperated, and he was saying, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know why the tobacco's not growing, why it's not taken and everything like that. Well, my mom finally spoke up and said about my aunt doing that. And she got in so much trouble, my aunt did. It was crazy. But there was another one where they had the true crime novels. One of my other aunts was buying true crime novels, and my grandpa found out that she was hiding the book inside her school books and making it look like she's reading her school books while she's reading these true crime.
Back then, that was that was bad.
Well, it was it was like these true crime and
gritty,
risque, love type,
little like black noir type stuff, or
crazy stuff, and there was a bunch of other stories, but there was a couple of little ones there that I can remember right offhand. But I know she's talked about a lot of stuff when she was growing up, and my grandpa, he was a big guy. He was like 6'3" or something like that. And
I don't know if I ever told you, my grandfather, who died when my mother was 2 years old, so he died in like 1950.
Wow.
But he was a boxer, amateur boxer, but in the state of New York, he was a boxer, actually. I don't know. I don't have his records or anything, But he was a boxer in New York. And,
wow.
That's pretty funny. And then he also, when he was in World War II in Italy, he actually went to Italy, spoke Italian. And a couple of back, either during my grandmother's funeral, might have been during my grandmother's funeral, one of my uncle's wives, his brother's wife, of course, the brother has passed away since then too, but they gave my mother letters that my grandfather wrote from Italy.
Oh, wow.
From World War II back to his parents. And just the words that he used, everything's going swell over here. And, and then he wrote in Italian
whiz.
too, gee whiz, stuff like that. Everything's swell, and we're going to get that Hitler,
hold on a second.
Hitler bastard. But we'll get back to that story here in a second when Jammer gets back. I don't want to leave the two viewers an empty space. Let's hear a little Christmas jingle while we're waiting for Jammer. Yes, let's hear a Christmas snowstorm. There you go.
Oh, boy. That was terrible.
Yeah, so, and he wrote back in Italian, too. I don't know if my mother ever got it because, the parents spoke, my great-grandparents spoke Italian, so he wrote some stuff in Italian. So my mother was supposed to get it translated. I'm not sure if she ever did or anything. But I can say
she didn't know how to speak Italian?
My mother? No, because, he died.
Pasta fagioli.
Pasta. But she was 2 years old when he died. She did know, some of the family on that side, but she never, she knows the words and stuff.
Well, I'm supposed to go to Italy next year. Is there anybody you want me to say hey to?
Hey, all that family is from the Naples area, so I don't know any of them, so I don't know.
Napoli, huh?
Naplutan.
All I know, Shagdog, is something that an old Italian man said to me a long time ago, and that was...
Put your pants back on.
When the moon, right, hits your eye. like a big
pizza.
Oh, you heard this?
Yeah, same guy talked to me too. I think I saw him at the bus stop or something. That's amore.
Yeah, exactly. It's amore. Yeah. So you gotta, be aware of that. Yeah.
That song almost started off sounding Italian there. That when it was played out. Dun, 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 dun. That's amore.
Yeah, and there's some other wise things that he said. What is that other one? Golly. He did tell me that everybody loves somebody someday.
What was his name?
What's that?
What was his name?
The old Italian man that told me these things?
Yeah.
He was named Dino Martin.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, there was another old Italian man that said to me, he personally said he did it his way.
Yeah.
And that he was wanting to go to New York.
That's the city of New York.
Yeah, New York, because, he wanted to make it there.
If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
You're absolutely right, Shagdog.
I was guessing, but
yeah, I mean, crazy stories. There's a lot of stories my sister actually wanted to sit down and write a lot of stories that my mom told and make a book of it, possibly try to get a movie made or whatever like that.
that's why I hate about my grandmother. My grandmother didn't talk a lot about the past. I would love to hear stuff, but she didn't talk about the past at all, man.
Well, especially during the wartime and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you meet my grandpa?
Yeah. That's
stuff like that.
That really would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like when my mom and dad, they grew up less than 100, I think maybe 100 miles from each other, maybe.
How'd they meet? Was it Instagram or?
No, they met in Maryland, which was crazy because my mom went there to live and go to school up there. And my dad was working with as a, carpenter. And ended up meeting, by chance, and next thing you know, they started dating and everything.
That's weird back then.
What I always find funny is that they grew up so close to each other, but they met in Maryland.
Yeah. Well, still 100 miles is still far. I mean,
it was less than 100 miles.
You didn't have the internet or anything back then. You just had to run
but
into
it was
people
less
then.
than 100 miles, because they know the same places, they knew some of the same people and stuff like that.
That's fake, though. I mean, just that distance. I mean, are you going to meet a girl who's 100 miles away from you right now? I mean, there's 1,000 of them on these dating sites. And which one are you going to run into? Right?
Oh, but they're so damn picky.
I know they are. I'm not 6'2" yet.
And you know what? If you like so and so, don't bother to talk to me.
Yeah, swipe left now.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
And even then, you got the ones that are almost perfect, but then they're like, "I have 10 dogs," and all these other crazy. I'm like, oh god.
And I live in a trailer, or I live in a van or whatever down by the river.
Yeah, actually. If she didn't have the 10 dogs in it, I might move in with her.
Yeah, that kind of crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, the dogs, I think, man, certainly some of these dating sites don't even have the pet thing on there. Pet interest, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you find out by reading their profile that, I have 3 dogs, 4 dogs. You must love dogs. Mm-hmm. I'm not about the dog life. I like dogs, but I'm not about to have 20 fucking dogs right in my life,
Well, the thing about dogs or cats or any kind of animals, if you have them, they basically take over, because you have to, if you want to go and do something, if you want to go take a trip or anything, I got to find somebody to take care of the dog, or you got to take it with you.
Right, the cats are kind of, but only for so long. I mean, you got to have if you're gone for 2 weeks, you got to have someone come over to check on the cat.
Yeah. Those are the kind of things, and the same goes for having
And who knows what the cat might, never been gone. Your first time leaving the cat for a week. And someone comes by to check and make sure it has food like every couple of days. Because the cat can go a couple of days with food.
They're usually scavengers anyway.
But the cat might freak out. They haven't seen you in 2 or 3 days. Fucking start scratching everything in the house.
Well, hopefully you're not going to leave them alone in the house by themselves for 2 weeks.
Not for 2 weeks, but 2 days. Some cats are like women. They get kind of
frisky,
kind of crazy after about 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's some of that stuff is crazy, but it is what it is.
I chat with like four or five different women like every 2 weeks. I got 4 or 5 different women I'm chatting
And
with.
I remember you telling me one said to swipe left if you like a certain political candidate, and you still talk to her because you swiped right.
Yeah, I did it for about a week or something. I was like, I stopped chatting with her.
What's funny about that is you were getting along with her and all that stuff, but
she didn't know.
Yeah, that's what the funny part is. These women.
And then she brought it up at one point. She goes, "Oh, I can't believe they voted for that asshole again." I said, "I know, I can't believe it. Well, we only got to deal with them for 4 more years."
The funny thing about it is people limit themselves. Yeah, and this is the person you want. This is what you want them to be like. This is what you want them to do, and this is what you want them to look like and wear and all that stuff. But in reality, if you found a person that was complete opposite to you, but they were a good person and they liked you and you fell in love with them in the sense of they were good to you and everybody around them and all this, it wouldn't matter all that stuff. You could get past all the opposites, the different opinions and everything, because guess what? That person's good.
I had another one this week write me, and she's got the same things. Well, I told her, I said, I'm conservative, but I did a little test thing. I'm actually to the left a little bit from the center, according to the test, which I think was written by liberal people. But I said, I'm a little bit left to the center and down southwest.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, that's, well, okay. I wrote, it was about 2 weeks ago. She finally wrote me back like yesterday. She's like, okay, well, as long as you're okay, I'm for abortion. If I ever get pregnant, I'm gonna get an abortion. And she started throwing all these things out. I'm like, that shouldn't matter in your life. Like the first things you talk about,
no,
to me that's like,
that's
secondary
that's crazy.
stuff.
Yeah,
to me, no.
That would only come up if in reality that should only come up if it becomes that serious to where you are having a sex with her.
I'll tell a girl straight up if I'm in a relationship with you. If you're that, and I know she's left to the left. Look, if you're gonna have an abortion, don't let me know about it. As simple as that. Just go get it. Yeah. Don't let me know about it.
Yeah.
If you want to keep the peace between us, I'll still try to love you and all that kind of stuff. But if I know about it, you don't know what's going to happen. So just
what gets me about that is they're always talking about it's my body, my choice, and everything. Well, if it's your body and your choice, and this guy says he doesn't want kids, and you have kids by that guy, then should he have to pay child support?
Right. That's what I'm saying too.
Because it was his choice to say, I don't want kids.
Right. He don't want it. So.
And you went ahead and said, my body, my choice, and you had kids. Well, that's on you then.
Right, that's what I'm saying, too. I love that one video, if you ever saw it, and the guy's like, the girl's like, I taught my kids not to depend on a man. He's like, whatever. You're getting alimony.
Yeah.
And I have children. Well, you're still dependent on the man. Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, that's stuff like that. That's just so stupid.
And alimony is not for children. That's child support. Alimony is for your convenience that you've been living with or whatever.
What gets me about all that stuff anyway is that in reality, if you really want to be independent and not be dependent on a man or want to be a man. I guess what I'm getting ready to say is that you in general shit. What? It was right there, and I was about to say it, and I lost it. You were saying, no, I'm not having that moment, Shagdog. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, you don't want to be dependent on a man, but you want a man to do certain things all the time.
Right. Yeah.
You want the man to step up and say this or defend you or
pay for
open
dinner
the door
all the
for
time.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Open the door for you. That kind of stuff. Well, you said you don't want to be dependent on a man. You said you don't want this and you don't want
Equal
that.
rights.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have this attitude towards men in general and then expect men to do everything that a man's supposed to do
That we've been
for
doing
his
for
woman.
thousands of years.
Yeah.
So now you want all these other things too.
Yeah. You want to be on your own and all that stuff, but then you want a man to be there to take care of you, do this or that,
Pay for all the dinners.
Oh, you want a man to go and get the car fixed or mow the lawn or something like that.
Cry about wage disparity where they hardly do any work, so they show some cleavage.
Well, what gets me about that in general, and I'm not saying all women are like that, but what I'm saying is that what gets me about that is women, it's been proven, women are more apt to take days off, and this is women without even children, will take more days off than men.
Right.
Men don't normally take days. Now, yes, younger men in the days where you're 18, 19, 20, 21, maybe, they'll take more days off because they want to go to this party and meet this girl, or they want to go to this, whatever. But in general, women take more time off because of whatever reason. They don't feel like being there that week or feel like,
period hits.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah. And that's understandable to a degree, that they don't feel good, but men don't take that many days off.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, women also, you look at most jobs, I think, are between minimum wage and, say, 50,000 an hour jobs. I think the women are good in some areas, like as far as multitasking or whatever. But as far as organizing, but as far as you think a woman does better as a firefighter than a man? You think she's going to lift a 200-pound man out of a window?
I think if I was in need of a firefighter in general, and I was, and it was life and death, I wouldn't care if it was a man or a woman. However, if I was passed out and needed to be carried out and wasn't able to be carried out because the person couldn't lift me,
120-pound woman trying to drag you out of there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be too happy when I woke up
dead. Yeah, not all 120-pound women, but probably about 90% of them aren't dragging you out of there. There might be some 120-pound.
Like I said, women and men were made to complement each other where they are weak in the categories that, like men are weak in certain categories and women are weak in certain categories. And when you complement each other, they become stronger together.
But I think all jobs, like where my job is, everybody gets the same raise. If we get a raise, we all get the same raise, which I think is bullshit.
Well, that's socialism in general.
Yeah, I think it should be you get evaluated based on your evaluation. And
I agree with you, Shagdog, and that is something that like the law needs to do too.
Right.
If I am a good person and I haven't gotten in trouble and I'm doing something, and all of a sudden I got in trouble with the law and I did something that was illegal and I didn't mean to, but it was an accident, I shouldn't be judged arbitrarily because everybody else, and they made this law to just lump me in with everybody else. Right. To say, well, you know what, this is the minimum sentencing for this type of crime. Well, hold on a second. I didn't mean to do it. It was accidental or whatever it is, or, and you're not taking in consideration that I'm not a bad person. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't do this. I got goals in life. I did this because they did that to a kid that was working on a ski resort that went up to make sure the ski runs were clear. And he was skiing and, he was going outrageous. He was doing something silly. He was flying down the mountain and he ended up hitting somebody and killing them.
Wow.
Well, he didn't mean to do it. He had a college tuition and goal, that he was supposed to go to college the next year. He was working there for the winter and next thing. And they're trying to, the family of the people that he killed knew he was a good kid and came to testify in his behalf,
Well,
even
that
after.
happens, yeah.
And still yet, they wanted to try him and convict him of a crime that would cause him to lose his tuition for college, cause him to end up taking, be put in jail and all
Hold
that.
up, Jammer. That's going way too deep in the snow for this episode of Spit or Swallow Beer Reviews Christmas Extravaganza.
Oh, yeah, we were
I know what
35 minutes in.
I know what you're saying, though, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
In actuality, law as well as love should be on an individual basis.
yeah. But still, there's going to be bias no matter what, with a judge, jury, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And
There might be somebody more totally innocent than the other person, but just because the way the judge or the lawyers present this person that compared to that person, this person might be way more innocent than this guy, but this guy gets more time, and this guy who's really an asshole and bastard gets off with like a year. This guy gets 10 years or whatever. Yeah.
There was BitCon. I don't know if you watched it on Netflix yet. BitCon. The guy who decided to spill the beans and everything, he didn't do any time. And the one guy who was a part of it, who was basically, being a fast talker, trying to help and keep the con going and all that stuff, who wasn't the creator of the con or anything like that, but was brought in by the other guy,
Did a great job.
ended up doing 8 years.
He did too good of a job.
While the guy who decided to do the crime and bring other people in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at the one girl I know, her husband went to prison and he got out and he stole something small, like, a t-shirt or whatever it was. He thought he was going before he got caught. He's on probation. The judge threw the book at him, gave him 9 years for that shit, and he did almost 7 of the 9 years.
Yeah, see. Yeah. Well,
I hope he learned his lesson, though.
that's what I was about to say. All right, you ready to do the next one?
Yeah, we got one more to do.
At least, yeah.
Maybe 2. All right, I am Shagdog, Spit or Swallow Beer Review.
Yes, and I am Jammer.
Christmas
This is our
Extravaganza.
Christmas.
Yeah, you got it. I beat you to it.
Yeah, you did.
You snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
Go ahead, say it. What is it?
What? The Christmas Extravaganza?
There you go. You heard it.
That's
from
all you
Jammer,
need to know.
folks.
Spitter Swallow Beer Reviews Christmas Extravaganza.
Yeah, we'll be back in a few. Someday we're going to record videos, but not today, folks.
All right.
And we'll see you on the
See you
next
on the
one.
next.